Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about why big brands seem to get away with spammy link building. So I'm just going to open up with a simple concept and I'm going to let Neil cap it off. But if you think of a Amazon, for example, or if you think of a Google, for example, right? We're talking billions, maybe hundreds of millions or billions of links, right? Who knows what it is? But just think of it as a simple concept right here. You have a cup, right? And let's call this the over optimization cup. So, in this cup, you can just fill it up, you can fill it up with dirt here and there. You just keep filling it up. But once it starts overflowing with, too much dirty stuff, that's when you start to get hit with penalties and things like that. These adjustments start to come in. But think of it this way, right? If you're a new site, you're brand new, you're just starting up, your margin for error is a lot smaller. And people are, your cup is a lot smaller, right? Just think of it, you're starting in the world too, you're a baby, right? You have no credibility, nobody knows who you are, you've done nothing, right? So you're a baby. But as you get bigger, your over optimization cup, the level of trust that Google has for you gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So you have room for more dirt. And it's understandable because, at your scale, like at Amazon, for example, you have so many links coming. You probably have a lot of spam coming in. You probably have some Viagra links and things like that just don't make any sense that are coming in.
They probably actually even sell Viagra on their site.
Maybe. But just look at it that way, right? Simple concept, over optimization cup. That's why these sites get away with it. That spammy link building, that probably isn't really them doing it. So go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, so there's a few things that I ended up learning over the years with these big brands. And Eric's seen this as well. So from Google's perspective, one of the hardest indicators to manipulate is brand queries. The more people that type in your brand name, they know that you're someone that people love, they keep coming back, and you're actually a real business. It's hard to manipulate that. Sure, you can get a ton of people to search, but to try to get people to do this consistently each and every single day for a whole year is really hard. And what they want to do on their end is if they know you're a big brand, it's harder for them to remove you. And the reason being is, let's say you're BMW and you did some shady link building. Before, what they would do is they would just penalize you. But over the years, Google's learned that an average searcher who's looking for a BMW car, and let's say there's a ton of them, right? There's probably millions a month. They don't care if BMW built shady backlinks. As a user, if I'm looking for a BMW car and I Google BMW and Google doesn't show me BMW.com, I'm going to be pissed off, right? So much so where it's going to decrease the chance of me using Google in the future. And Google's noticed this trend. They're not stupid. For that reason, they don't penalize big brands as easily because they know if they remove a big brand altogether, it can hurt their perception of how users perceive Google and it'll cause them to use them less. The second thing to note when it comes to shady link building is a lot of industries, let's say like auto insurance, so many people are using these tactics that the Google isn't looking at, hey, let's just ban them all, because then there's going to be no one left, like auto insurance, credit cards, mesothelioma, etc. What they're looking at is who's the best of the worst. So if everyone's building links and everyone's doing spammy stuff, like even in the casino space or the adult space, they look at, all right, everyone's bad, but which one's the best out of the worst one? Which one's the best out of all the people that are spamming? And then they rank those sites. And if you look at over history with SEO, Google's adapted things like brand queries and user metrics. Panda algorithm looks at things like bounce rate, time on site, etc. to see if a content quality is high or low. This all helps to Google determine if a website should be ranked or not. So now even if a website is doing terrible link building, but they have a lot of brand queries and really high user queries compared to everyone else, it tells Google that, hey, it doesn't matter how these guys got to the top. Users prefer this website over all the others. And that's all Google's trying to do, in which they're trying to showcase the best sites first.
One final thing. I'm going to go to the other side and I actually just got reminded of a post that Glenn Johan Alsup, or otherwise known as Viper Chill. He wrote this about a year ago. So the title of the post is How 16 Companies Are Dominating the World's Google Search Results. So just search, dominating the world, Viper Chill. So that's VIPERCHILL, dominating the world, Viper Chill. And you can see this case study. But basically, there's this company called Hearst Media. And, this is, like the magazines, Cosmopolitan, Esquire, Women's Day and things like that. Basically, Hearst Media started a news site called bestproducts.com. And then they used the link equity from these other sites in the footer. They just wrote, best beauty products or bestproducts.com, right? Or product reviews. And, they just basically pointed to this new site. And then if you look at the total number of visits from Google per month, it shot up for best products, in the span of about 6 months or so, they gained, more than 600,000 visitors a month, which is a huge number, right? So, it's this type of gaming is still working nowadays. I recommend checking out this case study just so you can understand how this works. But, clearly it's working for a brand new site. I just talked about the over optimization cup, but, who knows? Even by this point, maybe they have been penalized. You might want to take a look and see if they've been, hurt at all, because this is basically like an SEO outing. So, in the SEO world, people don't really like to out each other, but this basically kind of is an outing. But Neil, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, this stuff happens all the time, and you know what? The big players are going to get away with it more than others. And then when people out them, then what ends up happening is sometimes they have no choice but to show that they're going to stand high and do something about it. But keep in mind, this brand new website probably didn't have the brand queries and it wasn't as well known. And eventually Google ended up doing something. But, the point is if you create too much publicity that you're doing something wrong, they're going to look bad if they don't make an example out of a site, because then it's just going to tell everyone that, hey, you can also do the same and get away with it. So, sometimes they have to save face and do whatever it takes to show webmasters that, hey, you can't just spam us. But yeah, a lot of these shady tactics still work. I don't recommend them if you're a small or even a big business because they're not long term. But, if you want to do them, hey, it's your own call.
Yeah. So, one final thing I'll mention here is really interesting. Top keywords. Their top keywords according to SEMrush as of 1 year ago for this post. I'm just looking at it right now. Best makeup brushes, number 1. Lighted makeup mirror, number 1. Best running shoes for women, number 1. Best wireless earbuds, number 1. So, take a look at this.
Those are all highly monetizable terms, right? As Eric's pointing out, these are amazing terms because they have buyer intent.
Great. So take a look at this stuff. And then, at the end of the day, both Neil and I like playing the long game. And that's what we suggest. We've tried this other stuff in the past, but you're better off playing the long game. So that's it for today. And we'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.